What's up YouTube, and welcome back to Coach Kyle. Today I'm bringing you my first video in a while. It's my reaction to Enzo Maresca, the new Chelsea manager's first interview at the club. And yeah, before we get into this, obviously it was a long season last season. I was making a lot of videos up until about January, and then just it was getting too much for me, to be honest. With Pochettino, I had enough, and I just wasn't enjoying watching the games anymore. So doing reviews on them and previews was something I just couldn't stomach, to be honest. So this is a new start for Chelsea, a new manager, and although there's a lot of skeptical opinions on Enzo Maresca, as you know, he doesn't have much experience. He's a young manager. He's come from the Championship that he won with Leicester, but as you say, it is the Championship, and seeing managers struggle as they come up from the Championship with their teams in the Premier League, it happens quite a lot. But I have an outlook on it that because he was playing in a division where he was one of the better teams and expected to win, and went on obviously to win the title, that I think the transition from a top team in the Championship to a top team in the Premier League, instead of being a top team in the Championship, getting promoted and starting off as one of the lesser teams in the league, I think going to from a top team in the Championship to a top team in the Premier League is a much easier transition for the manager. He kind of gets to keep the principles the same. The squad level doesn't drop too much in comparison to the rest of the league. So I have a feeling he could actually do quite well. Leicester were impressive enough last season. We obviously played them in the FA Cup. It was a tight game, and obviously done very well in the Championship as well. He has an interesting system that he likes to play. A lot of off the ball, running, pressing, looking to control the game. Similar obviously to his mentors in Pep, and he's played under Ancelotti, Manuel Pellegrini and the likes. And yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of giving him a chance. Clearly I haven't got much right, but I did want to change a manager, so I was happy with that. I haven't been too happy with the transfer window so far this year. We've signed a couple of players, most notably Dewsbury Hall from Leicester, who played under Maresca, so he should adjust to the football quite easily and probably put in some solid performance to start off. But he's an okay signing. I was saying that we've had signed two 30 million midfielders from Leicester before. One of them was N'Golo Kante, one of them was Danny Drinkwater. So if he could, fall somewhere in between their levels, then I suppose he wouldn't be too bad. Obviously, closer to Kante would be ideal. But yeah, the two targets that I wanted so far this summer are yet to come in. One of them is no longer possible, which is Michael Elise, as he's gone to Bayern Munich. Unfortunately, I really thought Chelsea could have got that deal done. It would have been a brilliant player to see at the club. He's just so exciting to watch, and yeah, he's over in Bayern now for the next 5 years, and he'll probably perform unbelievably if he stays injury free and win a couple of trophies. So best of luck to him. I'll be definitely keeping an eye on his career. And then the other option that I wanted is still available. Probably get him for a decent enough price. There hasn't been too many rumours, but obviously with the Euros going on at the minute, the transfer window won't fully kick off until that's finished, I think. But the man that I want, he came on and scored a penalty for England in the shootout the other day against Switzerland, and that is the main man, Ivan Toney. I know he is above 25, which seems to be our transfer policy. We don't go near players that are over 25, but Dewsbury Hall is actually a bit of an exception. I think he's 25 right now, turning 26 before the season starts or just after the season starts. So, it's on the borderline, but Ivan Toney is 28, so it's a bit over the threshold, but I still think it would be an unbelievable signing. He'd be a leader, experience, Premier League proven, get you at least 15 goals a season, I believe, in the league. And yeah, I think he can just do it all. He has control, power, strength, finishing, composure. He's just an all-round great player, and I just think he could completely change how Chelsea play. Be a great mentor for our young strikers, Jackson and Mark Gui, that we signed from Barcelona as well. So yeah, that would be ideal situation for me. But looking forward to pre-season. You know, I'll probably get hyped up just like I did for the Pochettino pre-season, but Pochettino quickly undone all his good work in pre-season as we got into the Premier League season, where he was playing Colwell at left back and Chilwell at left wing and all this messing about. But it's also something that Maresca likes to do. He likes players that can play multiple positions, and we might see a bit of chopping and changing in that front. But you know, once we play to the main man's strengths, which is Cole Palmer, that's all I really want to see. And if we can finish above 6th like we did this season, I'll be very, very happy. Get back in the Champions League would be ideal, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, hopefully this is a bit longer term, more than a season, more than Poch, more than Potter, and Enzo Maresca is given a bit of time, because it's not really on him, to be honest. I've been waiting for this board to make the right decisions, and this decision they've gone with. So if this one doesn't go right, it's their 3rd permanent manager since taking over the club, and it hasn't really gone right so far. So this is strike 3, and if not, I don't care. I really want them out. Like, I already kind of want them out as it is. They've just shaken up the entire club. It's barely recognisable anymore, to be honest. And all our youth staff, after leaving, like the head of youth staff, Neil Bath, and Jim Fraser, after leaving the club after 30 and 20 years respectively. It's going to be a big transition, but hopefully we bring in the right people and keep going the Chelsea way, bringing through elite talent from Cobham like we have done over the past 20 years. And yeah, right, it's probably time. That's enough chat to get into this first interview from Enzo Maresca. I'll pause if I need to if he says anything interesting, but I'm just trying to see his demeanour, how he speaks, the confidence, see if he lays out any ideas and his plans for the season. So let's get into it. Very fancy. Similar type.
Everyone happy?
Last year.
Enzo, first of all, a very warm welcome to Chelsea. How does it feel to be sat here today?
Thank you. Yeah, very happy, excited. Will be a fantastic journey, and yeah, exciting to start as soon as possible.
Tell us about your first week at the club.
Okay, so initially he sounds fairly composed and confident in himself, relaxed, which is nice to see. He's not nervous about being at such a big club. So yeah, that's good to see.
How important has it been to get your surroundings and the people at Cobham and at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, it's been quite busy. It's normal at the beginning. It's always in the same way. You try to know all the people around the training ground, some of the players that they were already there. But yeah, the feeling is fantastic.
You mentioned the players. It is a squad full of talent and personality. How excited are you to work with them on a day-to-day basis?
Very excited. One of the reasons I'm here is because I'm convinced that the squad is very good. As you said, it's full of talent. So the most important thing now is that we are able to create the right culture that drive us through the season. I always said the same. If you are able to improve players, that means that you improve the team. So it's our target to try to improve all of them day by day.
And we saw last.
Okay, so I agree with him on that. Definitely, I think this squad is full of talent, and that Poch did not just make the most of what he had last season. And I think there's some key players in there. Obviously, injuries played a big part last year, and if we can keep players injury free this season, get the likes of Wesley Fofana, Reece James, Nkunku, Lavia, so many players to come back into the fold, and if they can play regularly, we have a really strong squad, I believe, and we can challenge on all fronts. if the manager puts the right pieces in place. And yeah, I'm liking his vibe so far. Very Italian, I'm getting, obviously, and yeah, he looks composed and confident in what he's saying, and he's on about the culture as well, which is something that was big with Arteta when he came into Arsenal. He kept mentioning the culture in the first season and how it had to change, and I believe he fully has changed that now at Arsenal as they've challenged for the league the last 2 seasons. But that's obviously something now that Maresca said to do as well. So this is obviously teachings of Pep that they're trying to filter into their clubs, and is obviously something that works. And once you have everyone pulling in the same direction, it makes things a lot easier. So yeah, seems good so far.
Last year, obviously, with the incredible success at Leicester, the style of play is so important to your philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think every manager has their own idea or style. The mine is it's quite clear. Yeah, as you said, last year was very good, but it's already finished now. New chapter, new squad, new club, and yeah, very happy to be here.
And you bring with you.
I think that's very interesting, actually, what he's saying, that he has a very clear style, but that was last season, and this is a new season, new club, new players. So I wonder, will he stick exactly to the tactic he played last season with Leicester, which was typically a 4-3-3, with one of the fullbacks inverting to join in as a back three, as a centre back, and then one would move inverted into the midfield, which would make like a double pivot with the other DM, and then your two centre mids could push on up the pitch with your two wingers and your striker. And yeah, it's something that could suit Chelsea. Obviously 4-3-3 suits most teams, and with the likes of Reece James, Cucurella, and our new, and it could suit Chelsea with the likes of Reece James, Cucurella, Malagusto. They're all players that are very comfortable to invert. Even Chilwell, I say, if he was given the right instructions, could play that role. Obviously, he likes to get into the box and get down the byline more, but I think he played inverted briefly under Thomas Tuchel in a 5-back, and it worked very successfully. Him and Reece James getting into attacking areas, so it is something that could work again. Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
You such a winning mentality from what you've achieved. How important is that moving forward?
It's the main point. It's the main point because when you join a club like Chelsea, you have to know that it's a club that has to win. So for us, we're gonna try to do our best to be there, at least to fight and to compete with that clubs that in this moment they are winning and they are there fighting to win titles.
Throughout your career as a player and as a young coach, Enzo, you've worked with so many big personalities, big managers.
Yeah.
Has that helped to shape you as a coach?
Absolutely. As you said, Ancelotti, Lippi, Pellegrini, all of them very important manager. I think we all try to take things and then we create our own, box with all these things inside, and it's what I try to do since I start to think to be manager.
And here at Chelsea, we have a rich history of Italian players and managers. I know you're smiling at that. Has that helped, with regards to your decision and coming here and the idea of building a legacy of your own?
One of the reasons for sure. I'm very proud to be, again, one Italian manager again here. Probably there is something between Chelsea club, Chelsea family, and Italian people that works well.
You've spoken about those relationships and also the importance of culture. With that in mind, how important is it to build a bond with the Chelsea supporters between the players, the coaches, and the fans?
In this moment, for me, is when you join a club, you always try to analyze what the club or the team needs to improve and to do the right things. And for me, it's quite clear we need to create as soon as possible the right mentality, the right culture, and culture that the fans, they can be proud of the team. So this is very important. We're going to try to be an aggressive team on the ball and off the ball, and we need to create this connection between the fans and the club, and especially at home. When you have your own fans behind the team pushing, it's like to play with 12 players, and this is what we have to create here.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, you know, he's saying all the right things. Obviously, that we need to create the culture and the right mentality and get the fans behind the team. Like Chelsea have always been, I thought the Chelsea fans have always been powerful to drag us over the line in times when we needed them. We've pulled off some remarkable things in the past 20 years from teams that you didn't believe could do it, and we've managed to shock everyone and get over the line. And I fully believe that's due to the mentality, the standards that were set at the club from Roman Abramovich, all the players that we had: John Terry, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, Petr Cech, Ashley Cole. These are the standards of the club that I felt have gone missing a bit. And I like the way, similar, obviously saying all the right things as most managers do in their first interview. Poch did the same last year, was saying all the right things, but he was kind of going a bit overboard, saying, oh yeah, we're going to challenge for the Premier League, you know, this is Chelsea, we're going to win, and blah blah blah. And you know, he was just kind of putting that front up. I don't think he fully believed it, but the way Enzo is coming about this, obviously he says we need to win as it's Chelsea. Chelsea are a winning club, but he's more on about the mentality and getting that right. And once you get all them things right, then winning becomes a bit easier. And I think he seems, although he seems confident in what he's saying and clear his vision, he's laying out how clear his vision is, but he also seems a bit humble like that and composed, that like he knows it's not going to be easy, as nothing is easy obviously, but well, nothing good is easy. But yeah, I don't know, he's giving me confidence anyway, that's for sure. Well, I have confidence in him from watching this so far.
In speaking of Stamford Bridge, obviously we saw you in the away dugout last season. What will it mean to you personally to walk out of that tunnel for the first time?
I just said I feel very proud. I consider Chelsea one of the biggest clubs in the world, so I feel very proud of it.
Things obviously change next week with all the players returning for pre-season, most of them of course. How big a part of your plan is it to get people out on the pitch as soon as possible to really sort of get that message across?
It's very important. It's important because we need to know each other. I already know all of them, to be honest, because I watched so many games in the last 2-3 weeks. So I know all of them. It's always different when you spend the day by day with the person. You know, you can see them through games, but then when you spend the day by day with the players, with the human being, with the person, you receive different kind of feelings. So it's very important to start Monday. And as I said, I'm very, very happy, very excited.
And finally, Enzo, what message would you give to Chelsea fans watching this right now? How excited should they be?
No, just trust the process, trust the idea, being behind the team, and for sure we're gonna join the journey. That is not like every club, every manager. Will be not easy, because there is nothing easy, but for sure we're gonna enjoy our journey.
And we wish you luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not too sure about how he ended that with trust the process. I don't know if that's going to go down too well with everyone, but true, everything is a process really. Like, it can be a quick process or a slow one, but we do have to trust in it. And hopefully, I wanted to trust the process with Poch, as he was saying similar things as well, as he was backtracking after saying we're going to win it all. But yeah, if he gives us something to trust, then I will absolutely trust it. But if I'm seeing similar things to how it was last season or under Graham Potter, and that is just the fault of the manager, not of what's happening around him or above him or anything like that going on in the club, but what he can control, if he's not doing the best of what he can do and what he has, then yeah, it's not something to trust really. So I'm wishing him the best of luck. the excitement is starting a bit for the season. Obviously, if we make another big signing, I'll be a bit more excited. But we just seem to be picking up all these youngsters at the minute. But there is obviously a couple of them that are, I won't lie, getting me a bit hyped up. Willian Estevao, that kid is looking unbelievable over in Brazil. Since we signed him, I think he scored 3 goals and had 1 assist and has been celebrating like Cole Palmer since. So if that's the levels he's producing, then yeah, I'll happily bring him in next season. Along with Kendry Paez as well, who's a regular for Ecuador, and he's like 17, 18, which is crazy. So yeah, the future could be exciting. I'm not saying it is going to be, but it could be, and hopefully it will be. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to make any promises about coming back regularly, but as I said, I think in the last video before, I do have ideas of an FM save in mind, and it still can work, as it was going to be for Liverpool under the new era with Klopp leaving, and they still haven't made any signings so far this season, so it definitely is something that I could just start as soon as possible. But if there is something you'd like to see, make sure you drop a comment down below and let me know. And yeah, it's been Coach Kyle. Thanks for watching. Peace out.